What are your worst roommate experiences? In 2001 I was living in a short-term apartment with two random dudes while I was in Toronto for a Univ job. I came home to my apartment with my girlfriend around 11 p.m. Opened my bedroom door. Naked roommate sitting in my leather office chair cruising porn. He was like, "What? You're the only one with an internet connection." Quote, "You charged him for that chair you had to throw away, right?" From this we learned to lock our computers. Yes. I had a roommate friend fuck his ex-stripper girlfriend on my leather Lasboy recliner. That chair went to the trash. Both 19. Both worked in the same industry at the time but for different companies. Friday night, he threw a party. I had to work the next morning and he didn't. No big deal, 19-year-old's party. Around midnight the party was winding down and I was in bed. All of a sudden I hear a dirt bike kick off and start doing burnouts in our kitchen. My dumbass roommate pulled his dirt bike into the kitchen and was power braking the fuck out of the linoleum. This was a little two-bedroom house and we shared a driveway with our landlord. Nothing I could do about it at the time. I figured if I said or did anything it would probably end in a fist fight and I had to be up in 4 hours. Woke up sometime later and everybody was gone including my roommate. Dirt bike is still parked in the kitchen. I pissed in the gas tank and went to work for 9 hours. Came home from work and he had it partially apart in the garage and was working on it. I asked him what was wrong with it and he said, "I don't know, it's acting like it has water in the fuel tank." I still laugh about it sometimes almost 20 years later. Nice. R. Petty revenge. Please post it or give me permission to post it. I applaud you, sir. I had a roommate in college that had a dirt bike and he would take the engine apart and work on it. On the living room floor. Right on the carpet. He thought because he wiped it down and laid a tarp down it was okay, but he still got dirt, grease and oil all over because he was literally parking a dirt bike inside. I know nothing about engines or dirt bikes, but I'd had enough of him tinkering with it inside and coming home from class 1 was tired of seeing it again in the living room with its parts all over the floor, so I kicked one of the parts under the couch. Apparently it was something important because he reassembled it and went on a rampage because he was missing something. I never told him and he couldn't afford the new parts, so the dirt bike just sat in our living room for 2 months in pieces. So that kinda backfired. And I thought it was bad when my roommates burned a pizza and decided to put the entire thing through the dishwasher. I guess because it was stuck to the pan? Long story short, a pizza will not fit down a dishwasher drain and they flooded our kitchen. I'm the one that cleaned it up. Hooey. Okay. So, I had just broken up with someone and needed a new place to live. A friend of mine from college was tired of living in Missouri and she and her girlfriend, who I had never met, wanted to come out to live in Seattle. The three of us decided to share an apartment. Because I already lived in the area, I found a great apartment in a city south of Seattle and paid the deposit with the written agreement that they would pay me back 2/3 RDS of the deposit and we would split utilities 3 ways. So we get the apartment and I move in a week before they do. As they were driving from Missouri, along the way they informed me they're bringing cats. This was not in the arrangement, but I roll with it and tell them they have to pay the pet rent and pet deposit on their own. They move in, both have jobs. Come first month's rent they only pay half of what they should. They smoke weed constantly and leave pizza boxes on the floor in summer, leading to an ant infestation. They never do dishes. 4 more that go by without them paying a single thing toward rent or utilities. Eventually one quits or loses her job and the other got cut way back on hours to the point of almost unemployment but wouldn't look for more work. When I would remind them that rent or utilities were due, always in writing, they would respond that I needed to stop pressuring them about money because it was making them suicidal. Around this time my grandfather died and left me $5,000. They reasoned that I could afford to support the monsieur. In actuality, I could not. That money was supposed to be for a surgery I needed and insurance did not cover at the time. All of that money was spent to keep us all from being homeless, including feeding them. Because I'm a sucker apparently. It eventually got so bad that I told them they had 10 days to pay up or get out. Their response was that if I wanted the money I should sue the monsieur. I had absolutely everything in writing as to what they agreed to. All the missed payments for rent and utilities, etc. So I did. I filed a case in small claims court and had them served. A couple days later they moved out, without paying, and left most of their stuff there. The court date came and they no-showed. I had a stack of written correspondence almost 2 inches thick that I presented to the judge, and after he read through it he was quite angry on my behalf. The judge ruled in my favor that they owed everything they agreed to pay and never did, plus 12% compounding interest until it was paid off. This was back in November 2014 and to this day neither has paid a dime. Pretty soon here I'm just going to sell the debt to a debt collector to at least recover some of that money, and the debt collector can try to get it from the monsieur. Oh yeah? And 60 days after they abandoned the lease on our apartment, the complex manager came to certify their abandonment. The day they left, I closed their bedroom door and didn't go in until she came back to certify the abandonment. And she was like, "Ooh, monsieur, do you know why there is poop in the closet?" Quote, "Hands down the worst roommates ever. With your judgment, you could figure out how to garnish their wages. And you could probably eventually get most of their debt back." http www.courts.wa.gov/forms/FA=forms contribute informat equals 20. Greater than TFW your complex manager finds the poop closet. Greater than tired of living in Missouri. As most people are, in all fairness. All things considered, you handled it really well. Talk to a lawyer about the debt. You should definitely be able to get the full amount if they have any kind of job. Would turn the Wi-Fi off every night at 9 despite me also paying for it. Would rat me out to the landlord if I had my girlfriend over for the night, but she would have her boyfriend over. And finally she would scold me for using her TV that was in the common living room space. Please tell me you turned the Wi-Fi back on. Nagged her to move her precious TV out of the common area if she didn't want anyone else to use it. And ratted her out to the landlord for her boyfriend's overnight visits in return. People like that get away with too much bullshit if no one stands up to the monsieur. I'm really hoping that's a typo and she didn't just dump boiling water on you while you were trying to watch TV in the living room, monsieur. Where do you live where you can't have your so to sleep at your place? The 50s? I would have just stopped paying for it. I don't understand the logic behind the Wi-Fi part. Like, did she think turning it off would save money? Because that's not how Wi-Fi from a provider works. Okay. My freshman year of college I had a suite which shared a bathroom with 2 other rooms. There was one girl who multiple times left entire poops in the one toilet and would also leave her bloody pads stuck to the wall. Twice I had to go into her room and casually tell her she left her pad behind. Bathroom has a stall encasing the toilet so multiple people could go in at once. That's how I knew it was her. She also called the police on my room once for playing music at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. Bloody pads, stuck to the wall. When I was a teen I accidentally left a used pad in the bathroom, rolled up in the wrapper. And when my parents mentioned it I was mortified. Who's okay with people seeing their excretions stuck to the wall? 9 p.m. You heathen, you should be burned at the stake. They left entire poops in the one toilet, as opposed to distributing it across several. Asterisk I love this asterisk. 3 of us lived in a house. All men in our early 20s. My friend's girlfriend moved in and didn't pay rent because she said she was too broke. Then after a couple of weeks I find out she's selling hash out of our house. They were shocked when I told them that she had to go. My other roommate moves out to live with his girlfriend. After about a year, he cheats on her and they break up. I come home to him building a makeshift room in our basement. He told me the other guys all agreed. They didn't. Then he finds a dog in the neighborhood and keeps it. Also without asking, despite our landlord not allowing it. Then his girlfriend discreetly moves in. Shortly after, the other roommate's girlfriend moved in. Now I am fucking livid, so here's my reaction. A friend of ours is in need of a place for her and her 3 cats to live, so I tell her she can move in. I help move her in, and on one quiet Sunday I move all of my shit out and go live with my here, leaving my 3 roomies, 2 girlfriends, a dog, and my friend with her 3 cats. Lesson learned: don't make friends with hippies. So what I'm hearing is don't have roommates, lol. I love your sneaky revenge though.
That's it!